Chit-chat. Hey. Yo, from the window to the walls. If they ain't about to talk, they probably isn't involved. They quiet soon as I'm gold, I'll show you how to evolve. They end up running their mouth, they probably sound like a bronze. You tap your head on Lebron, that comeback coming in strong. And Steph keep dropping those bombs like Borderlands, oh my god. Oh, Google breaking the law, Monopoly in the raw. So give me my fucking money, but I ain't clapping at all. Get it? Somebody spill me the tea on Justin Baldoni. He barely talking to Blake. Does she really think he a phony? Like MAGA hats watching Joey say RFK is your homie. He falling off of his horse like they made his horse up at Boeing. Okay, riots in the streets, target Pakistanis. Not my fault, you fucking up your teeth. How dare advertisers hate the way they show up next to tweets? Fumble everything you have until they call you Mr. Beast. How many stories leaked this week? Holy shit, bro. How many scandals? How many angles? How many people? Watch them delete you. How many cancels? Watch them panic when they start to see the stock crash. Tell me who the fuck was really calling this a breakdance? Protest. Yeah, I get you speaking, but that's not the point. And everybody trying to go and girl boss on that fucking choice should go and watch you pivot. When you tell them you respect the voice, then watch this motherfucker ramble half of all this fucking noise. Watch him getting pressed over crowd size. I got the best assists, I'm labbing hits in my downtime. My swings are getting longer than a movie by Zack Snyder. Fuck the people trying to justify this a war crime. So talk shit, act out, I ain't here to back down. Sticky situations like you stuck on JD Vance's couch. Oh shit. Sorry, I ain't playing this passive. I'm here for the action, cause this ain't fucking House of the Dragon. Feel me? Oh. Too soon? Well, that was a long week. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, please smash that like button and then call the other version of yourself to also smash that like button and then create an echo of yourself with a purple hue that smashes the like button and then go back into that echo and then smash that like button again and then try your best to break the game enough to kill a character in a single combo. And then leave a comment on your favorite bar. If you can't already tell, I got into the alpha for the new Riot fighting game, 2XKO. It's super fun. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Definitely much more complex than I thought it would be. Like a bigger learning curve than I thought it would be. But it's really fun to crack open. I know that they're trying to change a few things around and they're still testing a lot of this, but it seems to be coming along really well. I played it a little bit at Evo. I like the whole team aspect of it. You can go into the game with another player and I'm just having fun with it. So I'm going to be doing the test lab. I may be streaming when you see this. Hop on in. I'm going to play some of it on YouTube. But yeah, having a blast. Also it's just been such a long week, man. I'm pretty tired, to be honest. Not exhausted yet. I still love doing this, but we're having a couple more people edit on the team right now. And I'm trying to make it so that, you know, like I'm not pulling all-nighters all the time. And I'm excited to get a little bit more sleep and, you know, try to take care of my mental health and everything else. I need to for the rest of this election year, to be honest. And so we've been doing a lot of 30-minute episodes. I'm going to try to do a slightly shorter one today. I don't know how long this is going to go, but just one more thing before we jump into the breakdown. Next week, I'm going to be dropping some brand new merch. I've wanted to drop merch for a while, and as well, I wanted to put up all of the previous songs that we haven't been able to put up on Spotify. We're going to have a lot of news for that next week. I've just needed some time to gather everything together. So be on the lookout for that next week. I'm excited to present that to you guys. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get into this breakdown. And man, this was a fairly substantive, eventful week in a lot of different areas. And we got quite a lot of things to talk about in entertainment, as well as in elections, as well as in world news. But if you missed Zed Talks, go back and watch it. But we talked quite a bit about Kamala Harris's VP pick, Tim Walz, as well as Kamala Harris's response to specific protesters who had ended up at one of her rallies. And actually, I have an addendum to that story, so let's start there. So shortly after that one clip that I talked about the other day, Kamala Harris ended up in Arizona, where she was throwing another rally that was packed out, completely sold out, and then guess what happened?
You know what? Hold on a second. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Here's the thing. We are all in here together. I'm told an extraordinary number of folks who are here together because we love our country. We're here to fight for our democracy, which includes respecting the voices that I think that we are hearing from. And let me just say this on topic of what I think I'm hearing over there. Let me just speak to that for a moment, and then I'm going to get back to the business at hand. So let me say, I have been clear now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostage deal done. And the president and I are working around the clock every day to get that ceasefire deal done and bring the hostages home. So I respect your voices, but we are here to now talk about this race in 2024.
Okay, right off the bat, way better response. Again, calling for a ceasefire, acknowledging them. She's got to do more stuff, like we said, but this is a meaningful shift in tone for the campaign. But it's so drastic, and it shows that clearly her campaign is listening and trying to play it smart. It takes a lot, especially for a political campaign staffed by a lot of Biden staffers, to move like that, especially when every election expert is telling you, no, it's fine. The girl boss thing plays well. It's a moment and it shows you being strong. I wouldn't expect a pivot like that. And it's a very clear pivot. Project compassion and empathy, not only strength. Really smart move. There's also new polling released today showing that Kamala Harris is leading in 3 battleground states. That is in line with her trajectory upwards. And again, there were also some other outlier polls, so it's kind of like evened out her averages, but it just reinforces so much more that this race is rapidly changing, and it is in a very different place than Democrats were 3 weeks ago. I also wanted to say that on the Zaid talks that we did, where I was talking about Kamala's response to the protesters, I saw a lot of people insinuating that I wouldn't have said the same thing if it was a man in that same position. And I just want to say 2 things. Number one, that is such a talking point, just the way that it's presented to everybody. And secondly, I have said that about men. Like Obama, Trump, Biden famously got into like a fight with somebody at a town hall.
Said I set up my son to work in an oil company. Isn't that what you said? Get your words straight, Jack.
But I have said that to male candidates as well. Honestly, when it comes to public speaking, there is a way to deal with protesters in this situation. And anybody who's done public events knows it's not just yell at them and make them look bad. These are protesters, not hecklers. There's a difference. And her changing her tone is a good example because she got a ton of press for it. Now, is it easy to empathize and understand why Kamala would be upset in that situation? Yes, but at the same time, even if you agree or disagree with her reaction to the protesters, from an objective viewpoint in a public relations standard, it looks bad. Because front facing, you have to seem sympathetic and earnest, and you have to be earnest to some degree when people are talking about a serious issue. You can just ask Obama, like in 2008, when Dreamers used to interrupt his speeches and pressured him to make changes and eventually sign an executive order on the behalf of Dreamers. Obama got a lot of pushback for that, but eventually his response did end up helping him. Now look, Kamala went and talked to the press a little bit more today. See, she's not dodging. And she addressed one of the stories we're going to talk about a little bit later with Gaza, saying yes, she wants a ceasefire, but she didn't commit to an arms embargo. She kind of dodged that question a little bit. But from an optic standpoint, like just knowing the way campaigns work, these giant ships that are tough to move, I think she is meaningfully willing to listen, and she's trying to signal that whichever way she can. And I think groups are trying to signal that they're going to keep the pressure up. I think that this issue needs to be paid attention to and not swept away, but good on her for changing her tone, and we'll have to see how this all shakes out. But let me know what you think in the comments. I'm sure I will not be taken out of context. I hope I'm not. Please. Obviously, we are in one of the most contentious, insane election years in modern history. And part of that deal includes people like Elon Musk setting up websites to take your data, other people mining your data without your consent and selling it to data brokers so they can advertise to you or sell you disinformation or whatever may be down the pipeline that's poison. And when it comes to fighting all of that in a year when it is the worst it has ever been, I really have to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Incogni. Listen, Incogni is a set it and forget it service that literally reaches out to all of these data brokers who are trading your information without your consent and goes through the legalese, the hassle, and the pain to take down whatever information they have on you, which ends up producing your spam calls, which ends up producing the spam emails you get, which puts your data back into your hands. And Incogni not only takes that on, they offer a dashboard where you can kind of track whatever companies have your data and see the progress you're making. This is from when I first started using Incogni, this is my dashboard now. And again, those effects are not nothing. There are plenty of services, whether it's apps or anything like that, that kind of tacitly say, okay, we can sell your data however we want. And as time has gone on, companies have taken more and different types of data, including biometric data from your phone. And listen, honestly, I believe in Incogni. I've been paying for it on my own. There's no free code on my end. I'm paying for it. So look, if you want to take back control of your internet experience, if you want to make sure this election year doesn't take and sell your data without your consent, and if you think my rap show is cool and you want to be like, hey, I support that guy, go to incogni.com/Tabani, enter in the code Tabani, and you can get 60% off an Incogni plan today. 60% off? Wow, that's almost the amount of points that JD Vance is taking off the Trump campaign. But look, I really do believe in this stuff. I think it's really, really essential, especially in a year filled with this much propaganda going on. And it is getting more and more important as data becomes more freely accessible to a lot of these apps. So go to incogni.com/Tabani, enter in the code Tabani, and get some peace of mind. All right, back to the breakdown. All right. Now let's move on to a fun story, or a weird rumor you may have heard. Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. The secret beef where I don't even know. Listen, so there's this large drama going on between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Everyone keeps talking about it, and I don't know what they're talking about, but I thought I'd chime in. So first off, essentially the drama is about this movie they made called It Ends With Us. Based on a novel by Colleen Hoover about domestic abuse, it's got its own controversies around the choices in the book, and Hoover based it around her parents' marriage. But apparently over the last few weeks, as this movie's about to come out, people have started to notice some weird things on the press tour. Like, Baldoni is the director of the project and one of Lively's co-stars, but he isn't really doing any press with Blake Lively or Brandon Skellner. And Blake Lively, Brandon Skellner, and Colleen Hoover, which is the original author, all follow each other, but don't follow Baldoni on social media. Ooh, scandal! That was terrible. I would like to apologize to the audience for that weirdly extra scandal thing. There's also been reports of two different cuts of the movie, one supposedly made by one of Blake Lively's editors, somebody who worked on Deadpool and Wolverine in the past. There's also reports of Ryan Reynolds stepping in to do dialogue for one of the scenes on like a rooftop, and there's also reports of other people like Baldoni's sister who's saying, oh, it was such an intense job and I've never had to do so many things, which kind of just screams disorganized. And most of the reaction and reading the tea leaves has been people saying Lively probably overstepped her creative role and it's a vanity project for her, and many people are saying Baldoni seemed to have had just creative differences with those stars, and people also have issues with the film and how it deals with certain things because the book also had controversies with how it dealt with certain things. And okay, my take from reading the gossip for however long I just did. Big projects have friction, right? Sometimes the dysfunction is just, oh, this is unfortunate. Sometimes it's, this can be avoided and somebody is directly playing into it. I think that may have been what happened, whether it was Blake Lively or Baldoni. And I don't really know who's to blame, but I think people are trying to be adults about it and just promote the film the best way they can. If they're staying away from each other, it's not because they want everybody to know about their drama. It's because they're trying to be professional and they both want this project they put so much work into to succeed. I don't know, man. Time heals a lot of stuff. If you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, you know there's a cameo in there with a star that Ryan had a little bit of a problem with for a while, and now they're good friends. So yeah, I don't know. Not all drama is meant to be salivated over. People are just trying to get through it. So let it all work out. But let me know what you think in the comments. And let's move on to USA basketball and the Olympics. Oh my God. I just probably saw the greatest basketball game of my entire life this week. And I am not exaggerating. I'm not overplaying it. It was that fucking good. Listen, Team USA faced off against Puerto Rico on Tuesday and blew them out of the water, right? Then came Serbia in the semifinals. That game was fucking crazy. At one point, the US was down by 17 points with Nikola Jokic and Bogdan Bogdanovic lacing shots one after the other, three after three. I can't tell you how demoralizing it was to watch because look, being down by 17 in the second quarter of a basketball game, which is a 40-minute game because of the Olympic rules, it's shorter than normal, and that's bad, dude. Like, that seems over. And yet, the US worked so fucking hard to claw their way back. And at the end of the third quarter, it was 76-63 with Serbia leading. That is a mountain to climb. And dude, in the fourth quarter, the US grinded its way back into a tie with the help of Embiid and LeBron James and Steph Curry. Oh my God, he hit this 3-point shot that hit the rim and then hit the rim again and then just went in for a 1-point lead, and I went fucking crazy at home. And then less than a play later, LeBron took the ball, went from one side of the court, dashed to the other. This man's like 40 years old and laid it up in there. Oh my God. And then Steph stole a pass and made another layup. All in all, the US beat Serbia 95-91. It was the closest game of basketball. It was honestly probably the greatest game of basketball I've ever seen. I'm not exaggerating. Until today, I listen to me. I know not everybody watches sports ball in my comments, but when I tell you, okay, the USA versus France gold medal game. You know how people talk about the dream team in 1992? This team is better. It's a big deal when you have people on the French team like Victor Wembanyama, who's like the new superstar of the sport. Everybody's saying he's the future, right? Along with Rudy Gobert, who's the future of touching a lot of things and then giving them COVID. But this was an insane moment. This game, from start to finish, was intense. Both teams were out for it, right? And the score kept widening and closing. France and the US just making insane play after insane play. The last 2 minutes, France is within like 3 points or something. This was a close game. And guess who comes in? Fucking Steph Curry. Listen to me. Steph Curry made 3 3-point shots in a row. Back after back after back. And with 1 minute left to go, France was still within a few points. It was very, very reasonable that they could come back. 1 to 2 possessions with the talent they have on that team. And Steph Curry walks the ball down, passes to Durant. Durant passes it back. I'm sorry I can't show you footage because the Olympics will take down whatever fucking footage I put up there. 2 people guarding Steph. He's double guarded, right? He's not open. You have LeBron and KD open. Steph is not. And he shoots the ball over them, and it fucking hits like a dagger. I went, fuck, bro. I can't. Go watch it right. Like, pause the video. Go watch it. Like, right, it's over, it's everywhere. Go watch it. That is the greatest shot in basketball I've seen in my entire life. I'm still thinking about it. Watch. Holy shit, dude. Yes, it's better than Michael Jordan's, like, famous shot against the Utah Jazz where it's like, oh man, the Bulls legacy. It's better than that. Like, it's impossible, dude. I'm like, you're just looking at the screen like, how did you do that? And he made it look easy. He was just doing this. Wild. Right after Twitter, the first trend I saw was greatest shooter of all time. Of course, bar none, he is. You can't argue with that. I'm speechless, man. The US won gold. Look, like I said, this team was better than the dream team. I can tell you that even if you don't like sports, watching this was so fucking amazing. Like, listen, go watch it right now. If you have Peacock, which is what I saw it on, because my girlfriend ended up getting the non-ad version, and I'm like, yeah, I pay for Netflix, you pay for Peacock. But she probably wants me to. She's looking at me right now like she wants me to pay her back. I'm in trouble. But no, I think, like, seriously, go watch the game right now. Even if you don't like basketball, those 2 games over time, it's enough to understand. It's fucking amazing, man. It's one of the best things that I've ever seen, and you'll see what I mean by it being just this inspiring thing, watching these super talented athletes just work their ass off to do some amazing things, like in this sport. Like, the achievement they get, it's awe-inspiring. But if you saw the game, let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, that's our show. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate y'all sticking with me every week. We'll be back next week with more Zed Talks and more Freestyle the News. Anyway, my name is Tabani. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!